Welcome to A's on Lessons channel. Here, you'll find kids' stories, rhymes, and much more for kids.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you are a parent, an educator, or, just someone fascinated by how we become who we are, then today's show is required listening.
It really is.
We are diving deep into what researchers are calling the golden window.
First 6 years of a child's life.
And according to our sources, this period, it basically determines the entire trajectory of, almost everything. From emotional stability right through to career success.
Yeah.
And just to be clear, this deep dive is going way beyond simple flashcards or, learning your ABCs.
Exactly. Our mission today is to really give you a shortcut to being truly well-informed about early childhood education.
Right.
We're distilling the core principles from all this research, but with a focus on what you can actually do.
The practical application.
What are the non-negotiable actions that leverage this period of, just astonishingly rapid development? We're looking for those tangible insights that are genuinely life-shaping.
Okay, let's unpack this because the stakes couldn't be higher. When the sources talk about early childhood education, they're really redefining the term, aren't they?
They absolutely are. It's not about school readiness.
No.
It's about establishing the entire human operating system.
Oh.
That's the crucial reframing we need to adopt.
So it's the bedrock.
It's the bedrock that determines everything that follows. We're talking about fundamentally molding a child's emotional capacity, how they handle stress, how they handle joy,
Okay.
their language skills, their creativity, their social behavior, even their attention span later in life. It's all connected. It's wired together at this stage.
And this is where the raw data just hits you. It forces you to understand the urgency. We've all heard the statistic, but do we really internalize it?
Probably not.
85 to 90% of a child's brain develops by age 6.
90%.
That is an almost unbelievable rate of neurological infrastructure being laid down before they even start first grade.
And what's fascinating here is the mechanism behind that stat. It's all about neuroplasticity. Think of a newborn's brain as like a construction site ready for high-speed wiring.
Okay.
And the quality of the input they get, every word, every interaction, every game, is determining which circuits get built, which ones get stronger, and which connections get pruned away forever.
So if the brain is building 90% of its capacity in 6 years, is the implication that this wiring is permanent or just really, really hard to change later?
It creates these durable foundational pathways. The research calls these first 6 years a sensitive period.
A sensitive period.
Yeah. And while learning never stops, of course, the efficiency, the ease with which the brain absorbs information and forms habits, whether that's habits of speech or emotional regulation, it's just disproportionately high in this window.
So these become the default settings.
They become the default settings for navigating life,
Yeah.
rewiring them later. It's possible, but it takes exponentially more effort. So the quality of the experience during this time truly impacts their entire life.
And that urgency you mentioned, it just pushes back so hard against this traditional idea that, serious learning starts at kindergarten.
It's just wrong.
The sources are definitive. Learning starts at birth.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
A lot of caregivers wait, thinking the child needs to be talking or actively responding, but they're absorbing the world like sponges from day one. We can actually break this golden window down into 3 distinct phases, each defined by what the child is naturally optimized to absorb.
Okay, so lay out that timeline for us. What should we be thinking about in that first year?
So 0 to 1. That first year is all about pure sensory exploration and, critically, attachment.
Attachment.
The infant is using its senses to map the world: sight, sound, and color. But maybe most importantly, they're learning to read facial expressions. They're learning the emotional cues from their caregivers. That is foundational.
And then suddenly they can move.
Yeah.
And the world just opens up.
Exactly. That brings us to the 1 to 3 year phase. This is just an
Yeah.
explosion. An explosion of language, of walking, of running. This is the age of curiosity, the endless why questions. They're learning imitation, cause and effect, social rules, just by watching and doing.
So by the time they hit preschool, they're moving from just raw absorption to, refining those skills?
That's the 3 to 6 year period. This is when their capacity for symbolic thought and abstract thinking really takes off.
Okay.
It's the perfect time to refine the skills needed for formal school. Understanding shapes, numbers, letters, and crucially, social customs. Sharing, taking turns, all the things you need for a group environment.
Which brings us to the how. If we have this rapid growth timeline, we need a method that matches it. And our sources are, they're emphatic on this.
They are.
For this generation, play is the optimal engine of development. They say when children play, they simultaneously learn, know, and create.
And we have to fundamentally shift our view of play. It's not unproductive downtime.
No.
It's the most advanced form of R&D for a young brain. Play is a stress-free, deeply engaging way to learn all those critical skills we were just talking about.
So let's get specific. Let's move beyond fun. How does play translate into, long-term cognitive skills?
Okay, let's take block play. It's listed as a super high return activity.
Building with blocks.
Right. When a child builds a tower, they're not just stacking. They're intuitively grappling with physics, balance, spatial reasoning, gravity.
And when it falls over.
That's immediate problem solving. Why did it fall? How do I have to change the foundation? It's a self-directed feedback loop.
For some pretty sophisticated learning.
Precisely. And it also nurtures imagination, which is the root of all creativity. And then when they play with others, building a fort, pretending to run a store, that's cooperation.
Teamwork,
negotiation, resolving conflict, and even messy things like finger painting or clay, they sharpen hand-eye coordination. Those are precursors to writing.
So if we were to give people a list, the high return activities mentioned in the sources, what should they prioritize right now to enhance brain function?
Okay, top of the list, construction play. Blocks, Legos, even just sticks and rocks.
Right.
Second, shape-matching toys and puzzles. Great for abstract spatial awareness. Third, story time, which is so important. We'll come back to it.
Okay.
Fourth, color games, sorting games. And fifth, sensory activities. Finger painting, sand, water play. This stuff isn't filler. It is the work of building a brain.
And that brings us to the most powerful influence of all, the home. The sources are so clear on this. Parents are the child's first school.
Yeah.
And they need to really get the children are mirrors. They reflect the parent's speech, their discipline, their emotional behavior. You are the model.
Parental modeling is the continuous curriculum. It's always on.
Yeah.
If a parent handles stress by shouting, the child learns that shouting is the answer. But beyond that modeling, parents have huge power to actively boost specific skills, especially language.
And the sources say it takes a surprisingly small amount of dedicated time to get huge results. So what are those specific actionable steps? Is it really just 10 or 15 minutes a day?
Yes, but the focus is on quality. Quality over quantity. The recommendation is to talk with the child daily for 10 to 15 minutes about their day.
With them, not at them.
Exactly. It can't be passive TV noise or just giving instructions. It has to be a real back and forth conversation. That dedicated dialogue forces them to construct sentences and process events. It just turbocharges the language centers of the brain.
And what other specific techniques are mentioned?
Alongside that daily conversation, two other big things. First, tell short stories and sing songs regularly. And second, actively explain the world. Name colors, objects, animals over and over again. You're building associations.
That focus on storytelling is so interesting. Is there a stat that shows just how powerful it is?
There is, and it's a crucial one.
Yeah.
Telling just 4 to 5 stories a week can actually double a child's working vocabulary compared to a child who gets average exposure. Double. And that has a huge impact on their later reading comprehension and academic success. They just start school with a much richer lexicon.
Okay, beyond language, let's talk about parental conduct. The do's and don'ts that shape behavior.
So the do's are all about intentional presence. Dedicate focused time. Encourage their effort, not just whether they win, and provide a safe space where they feel truly heard.
And for discipline.
The most vital do is to explain. Explain why an action was wrong. Focus on the impact of the behavior, not on criticizing the child as a person.
And what about the big don't? The sources have a very strict instruction on screen time. Why is that the absolute red flag here?
The major red flag is screen time because it actively displaces two things: two-way communication and that crucial exploratory play.
Right.
Our sources are strict, less than 1 hour per day, especially for passive, non-interactive content. The brain needs responsive, real-time input to build those complex pathways. Passive consumption can delay language, and it really impacts their ability to pay attention later on.
As the child's world expands, the preschool teacher or another caregiver steps into this really vital role. They're often the first person to establish social rules outside the family.
There's like a cultural ambassador.
What do they need to provide to really maximize a child's social competence?
First and foremost, a loving and supportive environment. They have to be there to encourage creativity, to lead with enthusiasm, and to create a mental state where mistakes are normal.
Mistakes aren't feared.
Exactly. That psychological safety is what allows a child to take intellectual risks and really push their own boundaries.
That focus on the mental state leads right into emotional literacy, which seems just as important as, say, learning numbers. How do we teach feelings?
We need to teach children to identify them, to name them, and to talk about them.
So giving them the words. Yeah.
Giving them the words. Simple phrases like, I feel frustrated when this block won't fit, or I feel happy when we sing that song. It's incredibly powerful. Learning to label those feelings reduces the mental stress that often comes out as behavioral problems later. It's a toolkit for self-regulation.
This raises a really important point about that safe environment. What about actual safety education? The sources were pretty explicit on this.
Yeah, safety education needs to be simple, age-appropriate, and, not scary.
Right.
The essentials are 1, general stranger danger awareness. 2, crucially, teaching safe touch versus good touch.
Okay, what does that mean in practice?
It means teaching them that they have agency over their own body and helping them distinguish between appropriate touch, like a hug from a parent, and any touch that makes them feel uncomfortable, and then giving them a clear directive.
Yeah.
Immediately tell a trusted adult, no matter what.
And also just basic road rules.
Basic road rules, pedestrian safety, simple stuff.
So we've laid this whole foundation, but now we have to talk about individuality. Not every child is the same. And the sources stress that parents and teachers need to shift from being instructors to being, keen observers. Spotting those differences early.
Observation is the highest form of unique potential. A mass approach just doesn't work. Kids show persistent attraction to specific things, and those are clues. Clues to where their brain is naturally wired to excel.
So what are those telltale areas of attraction we should be looking for?
You're looking for persistent because the child is constantly that points to a talent in music, dance. Are they always drawing, coloring, mixing things?
Is an artist?
Attraction to art, painting? Do they spend hours building complex forts with cushions or intricate systems with blocks? That signals an aptitude for spatial reasoning, engineering.
And what about language?
Or do they just have a knack for picking up new words incredibly fast, telling these complex stories?
Instead of trying to force something by set curriculum.
The outcome is profound. It's maximizing their unique potential by noticing and proactively supporting what they're naturally drawn to, not forcing piano lessons on a kid who wants to build their inherent talent can just blossom.
And how early can this start?
The sources show this can lead to significant skill development and passion for something as early as 1 year old. It just reinforces that development is this continuous process from birth that thrives on personalized, loving support.
So if we're to wrap this all up, what's the core message?
I think the core message of this deep dive is that early education is not about academic metrics or stress. It's life education.
Life education.
And it's achieved through, a combination of intentional love, boundless patience, focused play, and rich experience. Those are the tools that allow a child to blossom, to build a powerful, adaptable brain during their most crucial years.
That is a critical takeaway. If 85 to 90% of the brain's foundation is built by age 6, what tiny daily change in your routine, that 15 minutes of focused conversation, reading one extra story, just getting on the floor to play with blocks, what change could yield the greatest return on investment for a child's future emotional and cognitive life?
A powerful question.
That's something substantial for you to mull over. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Golden Window.